everybody, my name is Tommy. I'm a paper-mâché artist, and in this video we will be learning how to make the cupcake from Five Nights at Freddy's into a puppet. Before we get started, I just would like to show you the old cupcake. I made this in 2014. And this I made in 2018. So please tell me in the comments below, right down there, which cupcake do you think looks better? This is the one we're making in the video, so enjoy. Alright, so in this video we will be making the cupcake here. So I'm going to be using this as a reference. Alright, so we're going to start by making this part here. Grab 2 sheets of cardboard. They should be into strips like that, and then we're going to roll it. Alright, so we're going to tape it together. And you should have something that looks like this. The body here, I guess we'll call it. So now we need to put something underneath it. And we're going to trace around the tube with a marker on the sheet of cardboard. Now we're going to cut that out. Careful when you're using scissors, kids. Get an adult to help you with it if you need it. And there you go. You should have something that looks like this. And it will be glued to the bottom. But now we need to do something else. We're going to make this into a puppet. So to do that, we're going to be tracing it 2 more times. Trace, we're going to have just a little bit of overlap here, like that. So it's going to look like a number 8. We're going to make it into a puppet, and you will soon see why. So it should have a little overlap. Alright, it looks like a figure 8 here. We're going to cut out the figure 8, but we're not going to cut the inside out. And that should be it for cardboard for now. So this is what you should have so far. You should have a tube, you should have a bottom cutout, and a number 8. We're going to fold this number 8 here, right in the middle. This is how the puppet's going to work. You're going to put your hand inside, and you can make the cupcake pop. And the frosting will go on top of here. Instead of using glue, I'm just going to use masking tape. Got a little overhang here, so I'm going to trim that off. So now you should have a cup. Now we're going to have to turn this cup into a cake. Okay, now we need to take this part, and we're going to tape it on top. Just like that. Leave this part hanging over. Alright, so now we need to cut an opening at the back so we can fit our hand inside. Should be able to put our hand inside and still make the cupcake talk. I want to cover this in paper-mâché. Okay, so now it is time to start adding paper-mâché. So I'm going to show you how to make the glue solution. You will need white glue, and you're going to need some water. You'll also need a container and a large paintbrush, whatever size works for you. Okay? So you need to mix 1 part water and 1 part white glue. If you're going to use 1 cup of water, you will add 1 cup of white glue. 2 cups of water, 2 cups of white glue. That's what 1 part water and 1 part glue means. So I'm going to do that right now. So I got this little measuring cup here. So we're going to start off by adding 1 part water. So we're going to pour that into the container. And now we need to add 1 cup of white glue. And you just pour it into your water. You use a small paintbrush to get the glue off. Now you're going to mix your solution. Okay, so that should be good enough. So now we have our mixture. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to use this. So take your paintbrush, brush glue on top of the surface area. Now take some tissue paper or toilet paper. I use toilet paper because it's cheap and it works quite well. Put your tissue on top of the wet surface area. And now brush glue on top of the tissue. Put another sheet of tissue on top and brush more glue on top of the tissue. And put another strip of tissue on top and keep repeating this process until you have 3 or 4 layers. Put more tissue on top and brush more glue. So I'm going to set this aside, we're going to let it dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. So just make sure you leave the hole open right here so that we can use the puppet. Okay, so now we have this completely covered in paper mache. Now it's time to start making the frosting. So take some newspaper, and we're going to crumble newspaper on top of here, the lid. So we're going to start crumbling newspaper on top of here. Okay, so this is what you should have. I made it just a little bit shorter, so I just cut it down to size. So this is actually just about right here. You can still use it as a puppet. So here we have the cupcake base here. I made it just a little bit shorter because it was just a little bit too tall. So now we're going to tape the frosting on top of the lid and cover it in paper mache. Now we're going to cover this in paper mache. So this should look like a muffin right now. Mmm, muffins. Yum. And there you go. So we're going to let this dry and then we're going to move on to the next step. So now that you have this part done, before I start smoothing it out, we need to do a little bit more work. We need to cut out the eyes. Now this is the center right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just draw a line here just so I know where the center is. So here's the center. So I'm going to draw the eyes and I'm going to cut it out. Careful when you're using these things. Always cut away from yourself. These things are very sharp. And we're going to draw the other eye and cut it out too. Alright, so I did not do a very good job drawing the eyes on, so I kind of had to just align it with the center here. I had to line the center here with the center there and put the eyes right beside it. I'm just going to put a little bit more frosting on the top here because I don't think there's enough frosting on it. I like my cupcakes with lots of frosting. Okay, I still need to add some detail just below the cupcake to give the frosting a little bit of overhang. But I want to make the candle first, and you're going to need an empty toilet paper roll. It's not going to be this thick. So this is what I'm going to do. You're going to cut it, and you're going to make it smaller. However thick you want it, that is entirely up to you. This looks about right here. So you're just going to roll it and you're going to tape it up. And it gets covered in paper mache. Like that. To make the candle light, we're going to crumble newspaper into the shape of a teardrop. That's the candle light right there. That goes on top of here. So now what we need to do, we need to add some detail just below the cupcake. So I'm going to do that right now. Sort of looks like it's got a mustache right now, but you want to wrap newspaper all around it just so it has some overhang. Because the more the frosting, the better, right? Okay, now we're going to cover that in paper mache. Okay, so I disconnected the flame from this candle because I forgot to put the wick on. So we're going to cover this up and I'm going to smooth this out and I'm going to show you how to make the wick. It's very easy. So I'm going to put this on here and cover it up. Okay, so I covered the eyes in tissue paper and I added some more detail here. So we just actually need to trim right around here and do the same thing on the other side. Now we need to add the teeth. So 2 rectangles we're going to cut out. Very small. Believe it or not, this cupcake has teeth. Cute little cupcake. And you're going to glue them right there. Okay, so I'm going to use hot glue for that. That's going to be much easier. Now before we get any further, I want to make the eyes and the candle wick. So this candle needs a wick. I forgot about that, so don't attach the flame yet. Let's make the candle wick right now. So all you really need to do is just cut a very small strip of cardboard. We're going to roll it. There, like that. It's going to be glued on top of here like this, and then the flame will go on top. That's all you need to do for the candle wick. So, to make the eyes, we're going to cut 2 cardboard ovals. So it should just fit inside here. So we're going to cut ourselves another one. So it should look like an oval or an egg. And here are the eyes. They should just fit inside the eye holes, which they do, so that's great. So I'm going to add some depth to the eyes, some more detail so it doesn't look so flat. So I'm just going to put paper mache over it, just make it look a little puffier, I guess. See, it doesn't look so flat anymore, so it looks a lot better. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, so let's glue the teeth on. You just got to make sure there's a bit of a cup here right in the front. Look at that. My glue gun is a real mess. But that's okay, we're artists. We're allowed to make a mess, right? There you go. Cupcake now has teeth. The teeth are covered in paper mache. Okay, so I'm going to glue the wick on top of the candle. Just like that. And then I'm going to cover it in paper mache. And here's our cupcake so far. So, we still need to do a couple things. We need to put the candle on top. We need to pull out all the newspaper at the back. We need to actually make an opening here, so that we can actually use it as a puppet. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start by attaching the candle on the top. I'm going to use hot glue for that, so just remember your gloves. We're not going to attach the flame yet. I'm going to paint this first, and I want to spray it with glow paint. Same thing with the eyes. So they're going to get glued on last after painting. I'm actually going to secure that with paper-mâché just so that actually stays on. That's actually not even the center. Turn the cupcake around. Now we're going to cut an opening at the back. Just remember, be careful with knives, kids. Take that out, throw it away. I'm going to take all the newspaper out so it's nice and lightweight. There. Just like that. You want to leave a little bit of newspaper on the top, otherwise you're not going to be able to open the mouth. I'm actually going to put some newspaper back in. You can use foam if you want, or fabric, however you want to do this. There you go, now you got yourself a puppet. We are now ready to paint this guy. Let's make a tasty looking cupcake. So let's start painting. Then we will light the candle and put the eyes in last. Alright, let's start painting the cupcake. So we will need definitely a brown, and of course for the frosting we will need pink. And I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow and brown just to detail the cupcake a little bit. You'll see in a minute. And let's see, we'll need some white for the candle. And I'm going to paint the candle a light blue color, just to add the little spirals on it. And of course, my favorite color, glow paint. You also need black too. All the colors you need are right here. Alright, let's start painting. All that is left is to light this candle. And here's the flame. It's covered in glow paint. The eyes are covered in glow paint too. I'm just going to hot glue this right on top. Light your candle and go light up your world. And there it shines. Let's go take a look at it in the dark. And just like that, you got yourself a very cute, non-edible cupcake. And you can turn it into a puppet. Now, before we close this video, some of you are probably going to be asking, what's going to happen to this cupcake? This cupcake is going to be a gift to my mom, who I love very much, and she loves this cupcake. So I'm giving this to her. Enjoy your gift, Mom. Thank you very much for all your wonderful support. She loves this channel, by the way. And my dear old dad, who's also a big fan of this channel, had a really cool suggestion, and I'm going to point it out right now. If you don't want to make this into a puppet, what you could do is you could cut out the center here. Don't cut right here, otherwise you will detach the head. Just cut from the top. And don't worry about cutting the hole in the back. And what you could do is you could store candy inside. You can turn this into a really cool candy bowl. Put your Halloween stash in there, or you can just put whatever you want in there. You can put your pennies, your nickels, your money, whatever you want. So yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. Thanks, Dad. So yeah, if you are going to be putting candy in here and you want to paint the inside of this bowl, maybe probably black, it would look nice. I'm going to tell you right now, do not spray the inside of the bowl. Do not spray any part of this cupcake if you are going to be putting candy in there. Gloss can be very poisonous. You do not want to contaminate your candy. So instead, use white glue. Once you have it all painted on the inside, just paint it all with white glue and let it dry, and that will give it a nice shine. White glue is non-toxic, so you're safer that way. Do not use gloss if you're going to be using this as a candy bowl. But this is a puppet channel, so this cupcake is going to be a puppet. I sure hope Chica loves her new gift. I'm pretty sure she does. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.